Hello, everybody. I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible, but I did want to talk about Extreme Rules, which I did watch on Sunday, and I thought, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was very good. It was actually a really good pay-per-view overall. I said that it was mostly just a bunch of WrestleMania rematches, but they were better versions of the WrestleMania matches. So if you're going to ask me whether or not Extreme Rules was better than WrestleMania, I would say with a resounding yes. Yeah, it most certainly was. Kane and Orton, I thought, had a good match. It was definitely better than their Mania match, and probably the best match I've seen Kane have in a dog's age, probably since his match at Bad Blood 04 with the asshole who I refuse to mention by name. But, it's been a long time since I've seen Kane have a match that was even, as good as that, which you saw on Sunday. So, yeah, I thought they opened up the show fairly well and had a good match. The IC title match had the ending that it probably should have had at WrestleMania, with Cody sneaking out with the title by hook or crook. I wish they hadn't humiliated Cody for a month and had him drop the title at all in the first place before doing this, because now alright, the belt's back on him, now you kind of have to start from scratch with finding something to make him click as IC champion, because they had something good before Mania and leading into Mania, but then they had him lose, and then they humiliated him for a month, so they pretty much threw that to the wayside. So they've got to pretty much build him up all over again, which, whatever. And what else? Sheamus and Daniel Bryan had a pretty good match. I still don't care about the world title at all. But, it was the match they probably should have had at WrestleMania overall, just because that was all anybody had to say about that match. It's like, look, nobody really cares about the world title, and there's not much of a storyline going here that's remotely interesting, but these two can have a good match at least, so let them have a good match. And they went out there and did. It was a pretty good match. I thought Punk and Jericho had an awesome match, way better than their Mania match. There's no contest. A wild, crazy spot fest, well, not spot fest, but just wild, crazy, violent spectacle that captured all the best parts of the feud, and overall it was just an excellent match. Just really, really good. Probably match of the night, and I have to say I also really liked Lesnar and Cena because it was such a different match from what we're used to seeing. It was not the formulaic Cena match. You didn't get the 5 moves of doom or anything like that, and basically it was a squash match. I mean, Cena, to my recollection, he only hit 3 moves the entire match, and he won. But basically they just showcased Lesnar as more of an MMA specialist, and he used that style to take advantage and dominate, most of the match. And it was a violent match. There was blood, which is obviously very rare in this day and age. So it was just a very good match. I really liked it, and I do feel like, for those of you who thought that Lesnar lost heat after losing to Cena, which I thought was kind of questionable too, they made up for it the next night on Raw by having to break Triple H's arm. So there's still plenty of gas left in the Lesnar tank. So, overall, I was really impressed with Extreme Rules. I think it was a very good show. Probably the best pay-per-view I've seen this year. Everything else on it was kind of just filler, but, Ryback, don't care. Funkasaurus, don't care. Layla came back, whoop-de-doo. Would have liked Karma, but no, Layla is super important. But the big matches on the show were really good and really delivered. So, kudos to WWE. It was a really good pay-per-view. Okay, now I'm going to talk about what I really wanted this video to be about, and that's TNA's new Open Fight Night concept that they debuted last week. It's going to be a once-a-month show for them, and I will give them credit for trying to change their format and to trying presenting something different, because that's something that desperately needs to happen in wrestling. I think that TV wrestling format that was invented in the Monday Night Wars period, that both WWE and TNA follow to a T, needs to be thrown out the window and into a garbage can, because it's time to evolve past the Monday Night Wars period. I love it when people say it's like, oh, we need to go back to the Attitude Era. I'm like, well, in a lot of ways, the Attitude Era never really went away. Even when they were PG, it's kind of the same show as it was back then, only it's a lot more stale. But yeah, TNA and WWE just follow that same format over and over again. So I'm not going to begrudge TNA for trying to do something different and trying to come up with a different way to present things. My problem with the Open Fight Night concept, though, is that it's built around matches where anybody can challenge anybody, and that's basically the whole show. That would be fine if they didn't do that on Impact every week. And, you know, again, going back to that old tired and stale TV format, how many times have you seen the boss, you know, either break up a fight between two guys or get mad at a guy and say, he's like, you know what, you're going to have a match tonight. And that match is next. So the random, out-of-nowhere kind of matches, they happen every week. It's like clockwork. So I don't see how you can sell an entire show based on that specialty concept when the same thing basically happens on every, you know, episode of wrestling television. So there's that. And then I believe they said there would be one title match on every single one of these open fight nights. And again, that would be fine, but I do think they can have no title matches on any other Impact besides the open fight nights, just to make that one title match actually mean something. And, you know, that doesn't count the TV title match that they're defending every week now, which I don't like that either, because I think it overcompensates the problem that the TV title wasn't being showcased enough. I think it's just going to overexpose the championship, you know, but that's just me. But, yeah, there should be no other title matches on Impact, just to make the one on the open fight night actually seem like it's more of a special event. But I read the spoilers for, it's either this week's show or next week's, and there's going to be an X Division title match, so I'm thinking, well, nope, they kind of threw that away, so, oh well. Yeah, if they really want to make the open fight night really seem more special, then there will be no other title matches on Impact, and the randomly booked matches need to go. And based on what I'm seeing on Impact, they're going to keep doing it because they have to have Hulk Hogan on TV. And, you know, if Hulk Hogan's the boss, it's like, well, how do we get Hulk Hogan on TV? Well, he has to make matches on the fly. And that's the way, which I love it how wrestling shows, so many wrestling shows are built around what to do with the boss character, when I don't really care about the boss character at all. It's like, can we focus on the wrestlers? You know? I'm just saying, yeah, I really don't care what evil plan Johnny Ace has. Can we just focus on the wrestlers and the matches? That would be more appealing to me. It's like, can we have a tag division? No! It's got to be the Johnny Ace show, you fucking moron. God damn. But, you know, but yeah, I think if TNA wants that open fight night thing to work, they've got to drastically do changes to the other episodes of Impact just to make this one stand out more. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I don't think, truthfully, I don't think the wrestling companies today know how to live without that late 90s, early 2000s Monday Night Wars format. It's like, it's just permeated into the brains of everybody out there. I don't think a lot of the fans can imagine living without it. Like, so many people have told me, as you know, when I bash Johnny Ace, it's like, well, who else is going to fill that role? And I'm like, why does the role need to be filled? Why do we need an evil boss? I don't understand why this is such a necessity. You know, again, let's go back to the Jack Tunney days. That would make me happy. Just have a guy that looks the part of being the boss, and he only comes out when he needs to make an announcement or something like that, and then let the rest of the show be about the wrestlers. That's what I would like, but... and there are other formatting problems as well that both shows do, but I'm not even going to go with that. So yeah, open fight night, appreciate the effort, but you need to work on a lot of other things to make it work. So that's all I have to say about that, and that'll be my video for the week, and I'll see you all later.